Right. Let some more people in. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and admit them.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Let some more people file in as we're connecting to the audio. Right. Good stuff. Can everybody see everything okay? You can get a thumbs up in the chat. Good stuff. All right. So welcome. This is Step in the Center. My name is Clay Taylor, and I'm an assistant director of admission in tonight. Just for some quick formality as we continue on with this presentation, you guys won't be able to, but please keep your camera and microphone off as we continue on. And if you'd like to, you can put it on speaker view so you can see each individual speaker as we continue through the slides. And don't forget, after this event, we're going to have a live Zine event with a current student. So it's going to be some fun games with some other admitted students and a current center student. So that will start at 7:30, so we'll kind of keep this within that time frame so you guys can get on Zoomy afterwards. So we're excited for you guys to be here, and I will let my counterparts introduce themselves as well as we continue. So
hi, I am David DeWitt, also on the admissions staff. I'm a Center College graduate myself from a very long time ago. We're excited to have you join us tonight. I will let you know we're recording the session tonight. So if something goes a little quick, if you miss something and want to catch it later, we'll have it posted to the website shortly.
And my name is Kirk Knott, and welcome everybody. I am the Associate Director for the Center for Career and Professional Development.
nice, awesome, thank you all. So today's Step in the Center is going to be after center. We're going to be really nailing home about research opportunities, some internships at center, how the alumni can factor in as well, and then maybe some even more fruitful information as we continue on this conversation. So again, thank you all for joining us tonight. We're really excited that you're here. So let's jump right in. So research at center is going to be a guaranteed opportunity for you. It's part of the center commitment. Everyone's going to be a guaranteed opportunity to research any point throughout their center career. You can either work one-on-one with a faculty member, or you can work as a research team over the course of the summer. So there's a lot of different routes that you can take as far as research at center. It's really readily available. There's many different facets that you can dive into, and I'll start talking about this as we continue on, but there's also some independent studies that you can take, and those can be counted as an academic credit. So you can take a whole semester and just really just do a study the entire time. So that's a pretty awesome opportunity. And then every spring semester, we host what's called the RICE Symposium. RICE stands for Research, Internships, and Creative Endeavors. And it's a great opportunity for students of all around to really just celebrate what they've been doing over the course of the academic year and present it to some fellow members of the center community. And that's where you see in this picture here, we got two 2020 grads showcasing their research. They did comparing global education systems in France and Germany. So you really get to choose what kind of routes you get to go on. Now, around 43% of our students participate in some sort of research throughout their time at center. So it's a good, almost half, 50% of our students do some sort of research. The majority of that research is done on campus, but there are, again, some summer internships that you can take advantage of as well. So it really depends on what you find yourself walking in. Now, there is a heavy loaded research opportunity as far as a scholarship that you can achieve as well going into your senior year. It's a very competitive program. It's called the John C. Young Scholars Program. It allows seniors to spend a year working on an independent study, either researching or maybe even being a part of an artistic project. And then they present those results in the spring at a formal program. So that's a pretty awesome opportunity. I believe 10 students get to take advantage of the opportunity. And I apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly, but it is a very competitive opportunity that you may find yourself in leading into your senior year. Now, in regards to the independent studies, I mentioned that they can be taken as a course credit, and it's a 400 level independent research course, and it's mentored by an appropriate faculty member. So you will have a lot of mentorship and great opportunities to collaborate with current professors. I know that some students have even stayed on campus over the summer conducting research, and they end up becoming published with their professors. So there's a lot of awesome opportunities for you to dive into those hands-on experiences with faculty members alike. And there's also some paid opportunities they can find yourself doing research throughout the summer. We have a lot of grants to offer students so they can conduct these research opportunities. And I mentioned Rice and some examples as far as like what was presented at Rice. You see Manasa and Stephanie doing the comparing global education systems. We've also had people showcase artwork in our JVAC. That's our visual arts center. It's called the Jones Visual Arts Center. It's basically called the Art Barn, where students can present their glass pieces, their paintings, photography, really anything in that realm. So it's a fun endeavor to really just showcase what you're doing as a student. It's a and then as far as some off-campus opportunities our students have found themselves in, we've had students do some endocrine surgery at Johns Hopkins University. We've had students study some research with life support design and engineering at NASA. We've had students study presidential politics at media publications, and we've also had some students do some forestry research at Harvard. So there's a ton of different realms that you may find yourself in doing research, and we'll get to how you can seek those research opportunities a little bit further in the presentation, but I'm going to turn it to David so he can dive into some internship opportunities our students have found themselves in.
Yeah, there's internships work in a fairly similar fashion to the research opportunities at Center. Clay made reference to the Center commitment. If you're not familiar with that phrase, it is a promise we make at Center College to students who enroll that you will be able to study abroad while you're a student here and complete either a research opportunity, a mentored research opportunity, or an internship and complete your degree in 4 years. And if you can't put all those things together in 4 years, then you get a 5th year on us. You have some responsibility in that arrangement too. You can't fail classes and expect that to work. But if you make normal academic progress, you can put all those things together. Internships are a great way for you to get some relevant job experience, have something additional to put on your resume when it's time to graduate. It's also a good way for you to sort of test drive a possible career. You may think you know what you're interested in, but getting some actual hands-on experience can be a really good way to make sure that that's the path you want to take. And if you find out it's not the path, that's good information too. So you've got time to switch gears while there are no horrible consequences in doing so. Academic internships can be, if it's an academic internship, you will get academic credit for it. It's possible to do that here. Some students also do internships that are not awarded academic credit because they want the experience, the resume builder. They want the other benefits of that. I got a cheat sheet here because I wanted to look up some opportunities to share with you. And so give me just a second. The internships are sometimes very closely related to your major, but sometimes are not. You're not limited by what your major is. You're limited by your imagination, essentially. We have a young woman who did an internship in Danville, where center is located, at an orthopedics and sports medicine. She was a physical therapy intern. She is a behavioral neuroscience major. We have another young woman who worked in Washington, D.C. for the Syrian American Medical Society Foundation. She was a medical missions volunteer coordinator. A couple of other examples here. I'm old-fashioned, so I printed things. But we have a major in anthropology and sociology. It's one major, so anthropology / sociology. And a young man a couple of years ago did an internship with the Borneo Nature Foundation, and the position was a biodiversity and habitat monitoring intern, and that's in Indonesia, in Borneo. There was a young woman who was a photographer and social media intern for an organization called Conserve Natural Forests. She was an international studies major, and that was done in Thailand. I'm going to give you, and I won't give you as much information, but I went through a list and I tried to highlight several just to give you a sense of sort of the breadth of the possibility. So these are just organizations, names of places where center students have done internships. Alltech Biotechnology Incorporated, the American History Museum, Amnesty International, Berkshire Theater Festival, the Centers for Disease Control, which are too much in the news in the past year, the Cincinnati Zoo, CNN, the cable news network, Heartland Veterinary Hospital, Hilliard Lyons, accounting firm, Johns Hopkins University, Kentucky Refugees Ministry, National Institutes of Health, the San Antonio Museum of Art, the Smithsonian Institute, Sony Pictures, Film Group, State Farm Insurance Company, Toyota Motor Manufacturers, the U.S. State Department, U.S. Office of Naval Intelligence, the U.S. Asia Institute. So I mean, they can be local. We've even done internships with staff and faculty members on our campus, but we can send you all over the world too. It's really, I think, limited only by your imagination.
Sweet. Thank you, David. And Kirk is going to give us some information of how we can find these opportunities and maybe even some collaborations that we've done with some alumni. So.
Okay. The CCP, I wanted to start with what the CCPD is. It's the Center for Career and Professional Development. It's a mouthful, sounds like a government agency, but I think it's important, that last part, professional development, because we're not going to be just the career center that, you know, helps you find a job at the end of your 4 years. We want you to develop professionally throughout your whole time at center so that you're prepared. You have the career skills to go out and get meaningful work. So we do that in a variety of ways, both individual appointments, where we can do things like career assessments, just all kinds of assessments, both informal and formal, that we can provide in helping you pick a career path. We also have career research tools that can help you learn more about particular careers. And then, of course, we assist a lot with selecting and helping you find an internship. The center is very big on experiential education, as you may have picked up already. We also are doing that by engaging with faculty. It's a two-way street. We get input from them. They give us a lot of input. I think there's always that danger that you separate the academic from the career. And 20 years ago, I think that probably was more how it was done. But now you want that incorporated. So we have good partnerships with the faculty where we're interacting with one another and sharing to make sure that you're getting what you need, not only in your academics, but also career-wise. We even go into classrooms and do different pieces and things like that. Clay kind of touched on, we facilitate alumni engagement. We have a number of ways to do that, actually too many to really discuss here, but just to highlight a few. One is we have something called a Career Mentor Network. And this is a platform where you can interact directly with a variety of alumni working in just about every field you can think of. I mean, there's a federal judge, there's biologists, there's attorneys, there's environmental scientists. I mean, I could just go on and on. But these are people who've self-selected that they want to help you with different aspects they offer of the career development and exploration process. So that's really, I think, a beneficial thing. We also have something called career chats. I bring in once a month alumni from different career fields, and we basically have a chat with them. And that can be really instructive. They'll talk about how they got from center to where they are. They give tips for what to do to get there if you're interested. They sometimes have leads on internships, that kind of thing. But it can be really good to talk to somebody who's been a college student and now they're out in a particular field. We also have just one person who does employer relations. I mean, they work with alumni to bring them to campus to make sure we're advertising any internships or jobs that they have. It's not uncommon for center alumni to come back and want to hire or get center students. And if I could leave one thing I see over and over again, it's that I find center alumni, they really like helping center students. It's not a burden to them. They like it and they have good information. They're in a lot of successful places. There's an informal term. I don't know if I should say it or not. Maybe I should leave. They call it the center mafia. And they mean that in a fun way, but it came about with how enthusiastically center alums go to bat for center students. And then the last thing I'll share is we provide these tools to both students and alumni postgraduate. Career is a fluid thing. Most people aren't going to stay in the same career. And if you do, that's fine. But if down the road you're out 5 years, 10 years, I know that's really looking down the road for you guys, but we'll be there to help with, making contacts in a new field, or if maybe you're moving from Louisville to Nashville and you need to connect with some alumni, we can help with that, or just any aspect of a career change. So that's it for me right now.
David?
I just wanted to piggyback on something you just said. The days of somebody, coming out of college, going to work for a company, and then retiring from that company 30, 35 years later that really doesn't happen anymore these days. So it's very likely that the young people we're talking to will have, I saw a statistic that I think is dated now, but said that people graduating from college are likely to have 3 careers in their lifetime, and not 3 different jobs, but 3 distinct careers where you're doing very different things. So to building the skills that what sometimes get called soft skills, but the things that make you marketable, interview skills, being adaptable to different situations. I mean, that's what we think a liberal arts education does for you, but the Center for Career and Professional Development is really trying to sharpen those things too. And I think they're increasingly valuable in sort of the modern world, and things you ought to look for when you're looking at colleges, I believe.
Definitely, definitely. I'm glad that you drove the point home about the liberal arts education in and of itself, because no matter what curriculum you're in, if you're a dramatic arts major all the way down to a behavioral neuroscience major, everyone's going to be learning critical thinking skills, problem solving, and analytical thinking. And all of these opportunities and experiences, so all the research opportunities, all the internship opportunities, that'll continue to drive those points home, and that'll continue to really craft what you want to be professionally as you continue on to move the world from center out, as we like to display. So, and you guys are probably wondering, like, okay, so you have all these things, but what happens after center? So, what is it looking like? So, we will show you. So, oh, well, before we do that, one more thing as far as some opportunities you can find yourself expanding. We have a new program at Center called CenterWorks, and it's an opportunity just established in 2020 with Andrea and Anthony Margita. They are wonderful entrepreneurial masterminds. I mean, they have really impacted the center community already, and they haven't even been here for a year. So we're really excited to see this program expand, but just a little bit about it. So it's really going to serve as a catalyst to stimulate the recovery, establish resilience, and enable growth, not only in Danville, but the surrounding counties as well. So there's around the 7-county expenditure around Danville. So it's really excited to start working really close with businesses in Danville, community folk in Danville, and just build those resilient individuals as they continue on throughout their entrepreneurial mindset. Now, this is the building that it's going to be located in. It's actually on the top floor of our bookstore and also our local coffee shop, The Hub. So it's fun to actually have a space downtown that our students can dive in and really just get to work with the community, maybe even start their own company. We have 2 current center students who started their own company called Rebegin, and they basically repurpose your clothes that you already have. So it's kind of cool seeing students already dive into their entrepreneurial mindset as they are current students right now. So just wanted to plug that as we're continuing on talking about professionalism in this context. But
and Clay, can I add that, I mean, this works especially well hand in hand with a new business major we're starting at Center, but you can be in the sciences, you can be in the arts, you can be in literature, you can be in really any field and be an entrepreneur. So it's not limited to people that are necessarily studying economics or finance or business.
Right. And this opportunity is open for everyone in the Danville region as well. So like everyone can take advantage of this tool. So we're really excited to have this on our side, and I'm excited to watch it continue to grow as well. So now the outcomes that we've been waiting for. So these are the outcomes for our most current graduating class, even though they're officially graduating on May 21st this year. We're actually hosting a commencement, so that's really exciting. But you see 97% of them had a successful outcome after they've graduated. So it hasn't even been, we're just now trickling into 4.5 months into the year, and students are already successfully employed, enrolled in graduate school, maybe still seeking or taking a gap year. So this can kind of give you a great outlook on what our students are doing and how successful they can find themselves within a 10-month range after graduating from center. And here's where they're ending up as far as some grad schools. You'll see a lot of our students go into healthcare. That's one of our most popular majors that we have. Just a classic admission counselor plug. Our pre-medical route in and of itself is currently ranked right in line with MIT and Harvard. So healthcare is a huge thing right now. Our women in STEM is ranked 19th in the nation. So that's a pretty fun stat to claim as a small liberal arts college in Danville, Kentucky. And then you'll see all the different other opportunities that our students have found both professionally and in graduate school. I mean, our students are very much in contact with Duke, Emory, Johns Hopkins, New York University, Vanderbilt, Wake Forest. So just a great list of examples of where our students are going to after they graduate from here as well.
Can I add a quick plug?
For sure.
So a theme that I come across a lot when I do the career chats, because I get a lot of professionals in there, is not only did they get into graduate school, but they excel in graduate school. Yes. I promise you, graduate schools like center graduates, they are prepared. And yes, many of them have said graduate school was not that hard because of what I got at Center. So.
And yes, David, go ahead.
And I was going to say too, if anybody listening, if you sort of stumbled upon Center College and you weren't that familiar with Center, I understand that. But just as Clay and I work in college admission, so part of our job is to be familiar with high schools and what's going on there. So grad schools at universities are familiar with what's available for undergraduates. So even Center might be new to you, but good grad schools know about Center College and have for a long time.
Perfect. And especially law school. I have a ton of friends who went to law school, and they too kind of had that similarity, saying that it was a pretty smooth transition going to law school after having graduated from Center. And a lot of my friends have also passed the bar, so that's been pretty fun to watch accomplish too. And I've seen a lot of people matched over the past couple of weeks as well. I think that was around Easter, people have got matched. So it's a ton of awesome opportunities that I currently am seeing, because I'm 5 years removed from the college, so everything's kind of still fresh to me, but it's kind of fun. It's fun watching everyone accomplish what they want to do. Now, some careers that our students find themselves in, I know we're cutting close to time, but this is just a very, very conservative example of where our students have find themselves at. Edelweiss is a place in Germany. Actually, you're on a army base in Germany and basically working as a hospitality in a hotel, but you get to travel all around Europe. And it's a pretty fun, like if you're not really sure what you want to dive into after you graduate and still have that travel itch because of our study abroad opportunity, a lot of our students found themselves at Edelweiss. But you see there's a lot of Kentucky networks. So Churchill Downs is big in Louisville. GE is big in Louisville as well. We have people working with American Airlines, Mercer, Fidelity Investments. We got people in DC. So at Children's Hospital in Cincinnati. So there's a lot of awesome opportunities and this is just, again, just a very, very conservative example of where our students are going to after they graduate. And a lot of these places also have center plugs in them as well. Kirk touched on the Center Mafia. The Mafia is really all over in these industries as well. So it's kind of fun once you get your foot into that doorstep, start noticing all the Center alums pop up and welcome you into your new community as well. So there's going to be a lot of great opportunities for you to find yourself in once you continue on. Now, any questions, comments, or concerns before we end the presentation right now? I know that was a very quick presentation, but again, it's recorded and you guys are more than welcome to reach out to any of us. You see our contact information on the screen. Go ahead and take a picture. Oh, Jason has a question right here. Can students participate in internships in Center Term? Yes, students can definitely take part of internships in Center Term. And sometimes that internship that you take in Center Term is that course credit. So yes, flat out, yes. Students
the idea behind Center Term is that you do one academic thing. So it could be a study abroad experience, it could be one class you have on campus, or it could be an internship or research experience. And since you're only doing one thing academically, Center Term is kind of a popular time for students to do internships or research away from Danville in a, some maybe closer to home. If it works out that way, but you don't need to be in Danville, Kentucky, because you don't have any other academic commitment. But
there's also a lot of opportunity in Danville as well.
That's true. Absolutely.
Very true. Anyone else, maybe? Thank you, Jason. We appreciate you. Do we get any credits towards graduation? Yes, you will get a credit towards graduation for that specific class. That's where the level 400 comes into play, and it may be kind of towards an elective, but it could be an elective towards your major goal. So yes, it's definitely counted towards your graduation.
And do we need to let folks get to the ZME?
Yeah, so the ZME is about to start. I think you guys all have the ZME account, but if not, I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in the chat. But thank you all so much for joining us today. I know it was a very quick conversation, but as you can maybe tell, we're very eager to continue having these conversations with our students. So again, feel free to reach out with anything you may need be. And thank you for joining us again. This is actually the outside of the CCPD where Kirk is working. So it's kind of a fun visual so you can kind of see it on campus. So again, thank you all so much. Go Colonels and have fun at the Zini event. Thank you all.
Take care.